Come on in.
Hi, Koral Pischer from ADP.
Hi, Patty. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Good.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Do you mind if I would have a seat?
Sure.
Okay. I was coming in today because I had got a meeting set up with Taylor.
Okay.
And she told me that Ben and Bonita Thompson would be here.
Okay. Taylor's no longer with the company. Actually, my
Oh.
husband and I bought the company 2 weeks ago, so he's probably the person.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He's probably one you should be meeting with, so let me go grab him, see if he can come in real quick.
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
great. Thank you so much for that.
Go have a seat.
Hi.
Hi,
How you
Koral
doing?
Pischer from ADP.
Brandon Cook.
Brandon, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, I didn't know we had a meeting at this time.
Oh, not a problem at all. Is this still okay for you?
Sure.
Okay, great. When I had talked to Taylor, who was obviously no longer here, we talked about a 20-minute meeting. Are you okay with that today?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, she's a great girl. She was here and we're hiring management, but we just didn't have a place for her. So
Okay.
yeah, 20 minutes is fine.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on getting this new business up and going. I'm glad that you guys kind of came in here and bought that.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, very exciting. So I did just want to give you my business card right away.
Okay.
If you ever have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any point.
Okay.
Wonderful. So, kind of what I want to do here today is just ask you some questions about the business so far, and how it's going, and how you guys are currently handling some of your business operations
Okay.
and stuff such as payroll processing and HR. And then if you do feel that there's a fit, I would like to move into a presentation that I have prepared for you, if you would feel comfortable with it.
Sure.
Great. So Brandon, what I do here every day is I go to meet about 6 to 8 small business clients just like yourself, and I really try to find value for them between their company and ADP.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm really qualified to ask the right questions to find out where we can save you some time or money and even help you grow.
Okay.
All right, so would you feel comfortable kind of going in and starting
Sure.
on those questions?
Absolutely.
Great. So, since you did take over the business, I do know that, but are you the one who would be the main decision maker when it comes to some administrative decisions?
My wife and I would probably both be doing it together.
Okay, do you think that she should come back and join our meeting then?
She's actually got to go with the kids real quick. We've got 3 kids at home, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, she'll be busy with that, unfortunately.
All right, not a problem at all. So, as far as growth goes, I do know that the old owners were thinking about opening about 1 or 2 branches coming in here. Do you guys have any goals for growth currently?
This actually was one of our goals. So we actually have 3 locations now, and then we bought this one, so this is our 4th location.
Okay, and are you keeping the name Jumping Jungles?
It's actually Jump World.
Jump World now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumping Jungle did basically the exact same thing that we did.
Right, I think that I've heard of you guys.
Yeah.
That you had those 3 locations kind of inside of Atlanta?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So, this was your new undertaking then. Did you end up keeping any of the employees, or how many employees do you currently have then?
We've got like 42 employees, so we have like 2, we have anywhere between 10 and 12 part-timers at each place, like high school kids, and then we usually have like 2 managers at each one.
Okay, and then are those managers paid on salary or an hourly basis?
Hourly.
Hourly? Okay, so everybody's going to be paid hourly then?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as your hiring processes currently go, can you just kind of describe that for me, just from your recruiting to your onboarding process?
Sure, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a lot of referrals.
Okay.
So with the high school kids, those kids are always constantly, changing out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just get a lot of referrals in, and then, train them on what we're doing, and then make sure they understand that it's all about safety.
Right. And has that currently worked well for you, or have you ever had any issues with those high school students?
No, the only issues we have is maybe just because we do everything manually when it comes to time cards. So just not filling out time cards all the way.
Right.
That my
happens.
wife has to go back and, add everything up.
Okay, since you did mention those time cards, can you just kind of go from punch to paycheck and explain that whole process for me and what you're currently utilizing?
Sure, we use QBooks right now to do all the payroll on the back end, and then literally we just use handwritten timesheets, and then the managers collect them all, turn them in. My wife goes through manually and adds up all the hours.
Oh, she does it manually?
Correct.
Oh, and how much time is that taking her?
Around like 6 hours.
Wow.
Because she's got to drop it and go back to the kids and back and forth.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough. And what could she be doing with that time if she wasn't taking it to do that payroll?
I'm sure anything else.
Anything else? Yeah. Payroll obviously isn't revenue generating, so that's 6 hours.
Right. She, and she spends a lot of time, researching, the laws and regulations as well.
She does.
Using Google, because, obviously she doesn't do this, all day, every day.
Okay, and as far as those regulations go, how is she keeping up with those? Is it going well for her?
Supposedly she's getting, updates and stuff like that, but, again, she's doing a lot of research online.
Right, okay. And I do know, just going back to kind of that compliance regulations, that 1 in every 3 companies does face a tax penalty within each year.
Okay.
I'm sure that you guys haven't had any experience with that, but
Nothing
is there any?
yet.
Okay, nothing yet. If there ever was, whose shoulders would that be falling on? That
Mine.
penalty? Yours?
Yeah.
And how would that affect your business then and your bottom line?
Depends on how big the fine was.
Yeah, I know that they can get into even the 20,000 range. So.
Sure. No, it would definitely be crippling.
Okay. I understand. And I just want to go back a little bit to that system that you're using. I know that you had mentioned those time cards.
Mm-hmm.
How is that working with like employees coming, not having their time cards in time?
It's kind of a tedious process. Like I said, it's all manual.
Right.
So, the biggest hard part for my wife is refilling in the time cards for the kids.
Refilling them in. Okay,
Yeah.
so some time savings.
Yep.
Okay, well, I really do think that I have a pretty good idea of some of the things that are going on here in your business. So you currently have 42 employees that you're paying basically hourly and getting through referrals, but you're using that QuickBooks system, and it's taking your wife quite a bit of time in order to
Correct.
do that. And then also those time cards seem to be quite an issue if they're those handwritten ones. And then also if there ever was a fine on that compliance side, you would be paying for that, and it's also taking your wife a lot of time to keep up on the regulations.
Correct.
Is there anything that I'm missing there?
No, that's the majority of it.
Okay. Well, if you do feel comfortable, I'm really excited to tell you that I do think we can help you out, and I have a presentation ready for you.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so like I said, I am here from ADP. I'm not sure if you know much about us, but we stand for Automatic Data Processing.
Okay.
We actually do process 1 in every 6 paychecks in the United States, and we do help over 400,000 small businesses.
Wow.
So we really take a 360-degree approach at HR Solutions. We have our cash management, which is what most people would think of when they think of ADP. That actually involves our processing of the payroll. So we would be able to take that off your wife's hands a little bit. She still has to do a tiny bit, but I'll get into that. We have a mobile app for it.
Okay, so this would tell me my cash flow throughout the week and stuff like that for payroll, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That would be big.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that. And then we have people management, because obviously at your business, people are your most important asset. You need to have the best people working for you. If you were ever interested in doing background checks on your employees, even those teenage ones, we actually give you 100 of those each year
Of the
for
background
free.
checks? Okay.
Yep. And then we also have risk management, which I think your wife would actually be really excited about, because she would have to stop looking up those regulations all
Sure.
the time. We actually file your taxes quarterly and yearly, state, federal, and local, as well as do W-2s and 1099s.
Okay.
And ADP is right 99.9% of the time. But, everybody's human, and if there ever was a mistake, we would actually take on the burden of that fine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we'd really want to give you some peace of mind there. Make sure that you know that that would not be in your hands.
Sure.
Yeah. So how are you feeling so far about ADP as a company?
Good. I guess my one concern would be that they're so big. And I called Time Warner last week for my cable, trying to get into the right person's hands, and it took 3 or 4 transfers. How do I become just not a number to ADP?
That's definitely understandable. I know that when I have to deal with a lot of businesses, I feel that same way. So I do appreciate you bringing up that point. But ADP, we actually, I told you that we have those 400,000 small business clients. Half of those have under 10 employees.
Okay.
So you'd be one of our bigger accounts, actually, at your 42. But another great thing about us is you get a client service team. So you get somebody kind of from each discipline, if you will, that is going to help you personally. And every time that you call into our customer service hotline, you'll be talking to somebody from your client service team who really knows your business.
Okay.
We also pride ourselves on first call resolution. First time you call, we're going to have an answer for you. Does that kind of clear that up for you? Does that make you feel a little bit better?
Sure. Absolutely.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So something that I'm really excited to show you is our mobile ADP app that I think your wife would be really excited about.
Okay.
So do you guys have smartphones?
We do.
Okay, perfect. So this is that app, and we actually would go right into our payroll here. And I'm going to just show you payroll in the palm of your hand.
Okay.
So how often are you processing your payroll?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly? Okay, for the purpose of the demonstration, we're just going to leave it on weekly. But if you want to click Start there. Okay. And then this is going to tell you the date and also when the pay period is.
Okay.
If you use direct deposit, we do have an option for that.
We do.
Okay, so if everything's good, you can hit start up in the corner. Perfect. So then this is a list of all your employees. Like I said, we have contracted employees in there, salary and hourly. So let's say that we wanted to check in on Will. You could go right in here, see what his hours are, see what his pay rate is. If you ever needed to change anything, that could be manually done. But with our time and labor management system, nothing needs to be manually entered because they would be synced.
Gotcha.
So if you want to hit preview up in the corner if everything looks good, and then calculate for me. Okay, and that's just a demonstration warning. So this is actually my favorite feature, and I know that you mentioned keeping track of the cash flows throughout the week. Well, we actually have a cash required section on our app.
Okay.
So that's going to tell you how much money you're going to need in your account in order to pay out that payroll.
Okay.
So, we're kind of trying to save you
That'd
some
be
money
huge.
and make sure you don't overdraw or anything like that. We also have some reports here that tell you what, your payroll liability is.
Okay.
Yeah, so how are you feeling about that then? Does that kind of help you with
Yeah, I like that.
Wonderful. So if you want to hit approve and approve payroll. Okay, and that's it. It's like a couple jumps on a trampoline.
Wow. Yeah, I like that.
So how do you feel about that app?
I love the app. Very cool technology.
Great. Do you think that Patty would be interested in that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely have to speak with her,
Yeah.
but I think that would be something that she would be into because, again, you can do it from the palm of your hand.
Right, and it would save her a lot of time, if she's kind of running the kids to a practice or something, she can sit in the car, do it really quick. It's a web-based solution.
Sure.
So.
Absolutely, I like that.
Wonderful. So at this point, is there any reason that you wouldn't want to move forward and implement ADP today?
Well, let me ask you. So, you've been with the company for what, 6 months?
Right.
Okay. And you're what, 21, 22?
Yep, around there.
Okay. So, why would I trust? I've been doing this for 3.5 years. This is my whole livelihood. Of my family, everything is based upon this business. Why would I trust someone who's only been at the company for 6 months?
Yeah, that is a great concern, and one that I actually hear quite often. I can assure you that, I went through my training 6 months ago, so I'm very fresh on it. I have the most up-to-date information that you can. And a little bit of a story here for you. Mickey Forbes is a customer that I had from First Call Solutions, actually based here in Atlanta.
Okay.
And he had that same concern, actually, when I had first met with him. Understandable to have. And I had just explained to him that, I have that training. I am a go-getter. That's how I got this job in the first place. ADP only hires the best. And he actually has implemented the system and has already started saving a lot of money. And he'll check in every once in a while, and I'll call him, and we have this great relationship going that is based off of trust. So I can assure you that I'd be doing the same thing for you. My clients are my most important priority right now.
Cool.
Yeah, so how are you, does that kind of clear that up for you about my age?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
And it
I'm glad
wasn't
to hear
about
that.
age, it's just more or less
The experience.
Yeah, experience.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so, I make up for it in what I do here for you.
Sure, absolutely. That makes sense.
Wonderful. So I do have some information here for you.
Okay.
I'm actually going to leave this behind for you guys. But let me grab my pen here. I lost it. So this is our pricing guideline. One thing that I would really suggest for you is to get a biometric clock here or a badge clock. The biometric is obviously a fingerprint scanner, and then the badge would just be a swipe card. But that actually saves you guys a ton of money in the long run because you aren't having to take that time to do the double entries.
Sure.
And everything is up to date and accurate.
Okay.
So I would suggest doing that, which is $125 per month per clock. One-time implementation fee of $200. And then you said you have 42 employees, so you'd be in this 41 to 50 range, paying $68.95 each time you process your payroll. One-time implementation fee of $150.
Okay.
So overall, it's a really cost-effective solution and
Sure, absolutely.
great for you.
Yeah.
So would you like to go ahead and get started today then?
Well, like I said, I wasn't aware of this meeting to start out with, so if there's any way that we can maybe set up a follow-up meeting and go over this with my wife and everything like that, I think that would work.
Yeah, I do completely understand why you would want to do that. I do want to let you know, Brandon, that I think that implementing the system today would be a great idea. I've noticed with a lot of my clients that they wait a little while. They're losing money that whole entire time that they're waiting.
Sure.
So I would like to go ahead and implement it today. One great thing about ADP is that it's actually not a contract-based solution. So you only pay each time that you process your payroll. And if at any time, let's say Patty was like, I just don't really like it, which I'm sure she would, and I'm sure she'll love it.
Sure.
But if she did that, you guys could give me a call and say, Koral, this just isn't working for us anymore. And no hard feelings.
Sure, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your candidness. No, I do need to talk with her first. But I think we should set up a second meeting though, for sure.
Okay. Just once again though, I do have a contract here with us today, and I do want to get you started on saving that money, saving Patty the time to not be looking up those regulations. Make sure that we can get everything in place. Is there any reason that you don't feel comfortable kind of just going and doing your first payroll, seeing how the system's working with Patty?
Just because, again, you kind of caught me off guard, so I want to get my feet wet since we just bought the business.
Okay.
And kind of, understand what I'm doing here. But I think if we have a meeting for next week or something like that, that would definitely be beneficial.
Okay. Well, I don't want to push you too hard on this. Definitely, since you just started this business, I do understand. But I do have a calendar here. If we can kind of set up a date.
Sure.
To go along. Does anything next week look good for you?
Tuesday or Thursday works.
Okay, how about Tuesday? Morning or afternoon do you prefer?
Morning.
Morning? What about like 9 o'clock?
That works.
9 o'clock on Tuesday. All right, well, I'm really looking forward to meeting with you. And will Patty be able to come to that meeting then so we can
Yeah,
have
I'll make sure
everything
she's there
implemented?
because the kids will be at school then.
Great, I'm so excited. One thing, I am going to leave this behind with you, like
Okay.
I said. If you could gather some of this information, especially your federal ID number, we could actually get started in implementing your system within the next day.
Wow.
So, if you could go ahead,
Okay.
get that information for me, and I'll be back and really happy to meet with you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Great job.
Should I push more for the close or not? Okay. Just making sure.
Oh, you did perfect.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How much time do we have?
At least 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, the last person ended 2 minutes early too, so we're fine.
Okay.
No, you did a very good job, and you're very persistent, which is always good.
Good. Okay.
And you're gonna run into meetings like this in the real world and stuff like that. And the biggest thing is to keep being yourself all the time, because when you go back, you don't have to pretend you're somebody else. Your personality is gonna get you far, and your persistence is gonna get you far. So just remember that those are the two big things.
Okay.
So you did a
Thank
very
you.
good job.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Here, I'll give you a card.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Do you work for ADP?
I do.
Okay. Great. Thank you. You even used your real name.
I did. Well, it was funny. They typed it up or whatever, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, did you know I was doing this? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's not going to fit in there, so I'll put it right here.
So when do you graduate?
May of 2015.
Gotcha.
So I've got another year left.
Very cool.
Yeah, excited.
You should be. What school do you go to?
UW Eau Claire.
Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't even. This is the last name of the other competitor from Eau Claire. So my business card just ended up with her name in it, which was kind of funny, but what are you gonna do?
No, who cares? And whatever. It's just for demo anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, anybody looks at it, it's like, wait, 999.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, good job.
All right. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, nice to meet
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.